In this episode of the I Am Not Responsible for This Content show, we will be heading to the murky swamplands of the local gymnasium, a watering hole and oasis of rest, attracting dozens of indigenous local species. Most of the animals here are just like me. They come from whatever pocket of the world they're from to get stronger before returning to their respective caves. But beware. Within this seemingly peaceful metallic habitat, there are some creatures that the regular gym goers steer clear of. Slobs, who leave a snare-like trail of sweat, tears, and fecal matter in their wake. Grunters, whose cries of anguish can be heard for 3 miles as they lift things up and they put them down. Listeners who don't like and subscribe, beware of those too. And the notorious phonehead, whose eyes won't deviate from the digital devices, even in life and death situations. Today, we will be observing these predators in the wild, along with a slew of others, rampaging the wildlands of ellipticals and free weights, and terrorizing the natives who want nothing more than to be unbothered in the place where they have found their asylum. My name is Tim, and this is the I Am Not Responsible for This Content Show. Some might find the gym to be a very stressful place, but for me, it's a realm in which all of the rest of the world just disappears. The turmoils of work, drama, my addiction to technology, and the constantly burning existential fire that eats my soul. Gone. Poof. Like magic. Gym is therapy. I redact that statement, and if you're wondering about replacing gym with therapy, I do not recommend that. You should still seek therapy. But, that aside, the gym is the perfect place. Well, it's almost perfect. There is one thing wrong with the gym. It's you. You're what's wrong with the gym. I guess somebody told somebody who then told somebody that this place exists. I really did try to keep it a secret, but my safe place has become infested with people. I'm confident that the worst people on the planet can all be found in the gym. Every single one of them. They can't read. They can't clean up after themselves. Inconsiderate and despicable human beings. And I hate to inform you, but if you go to any gym, no matter where you are, these people will find you. These people are everywhere. They are inevitable, and you cannot escape them. You might be one of them. You might not be. You might not even go to the gym. If you don't go to the gym, listen anyways, then go to the gym during rush hour with a pair of binoculars and the following bingo checklist. I'm sure you'll check every square in 20 minutes. Welcome to episode 3. The worst people in the world, all in your local gym. P.S. Don't worry. I will still be answering the questions that you've submitted, just after this rant. I'll admit that you guys have gotten a lot better at disinfecting surfaces, and we all know why. It rhymes with slow kid, and involved being pigeonholed in our homes for a year. I'd get demonetized for saying it out loud, so you're going to have to put 2 and 2 together here. But not everyone evolves, not even when disinfectant wipes and hand sanitizer are the fastest selling items on the market. The specimen of gym goer that chooses not to clean up after themselves is far from endangered. The last thing that I wanted to do was see the sweat angel that your genitals made on the black leather seat that I was about to sit on. Yet here I am, wiping your liquid DNA off of the leg press. Having to clean someone's sweat off of a chair just makes me feel like I should add promiscuous maid outfit to my gym wardrobe. At least then I'd maybe be dressed for undignified servitude. If you're ever on the receiving end of this degrading situation, I pray that it's a hit and run, and that you don't have to also make eye contact with your violator. The moment that you lock eyes, they know what they've done. They have to. Surely, they know that chances are you know more about them than their mother does. Like how they should have been raised. or the size of their left nut. And their face, you remember it forever. Every time they walk through the gym doors, that trauma is relived. They might be super nice. They might even be a good person. But the only thing that you know about them is more than you wish to know about them. So don't be that guy. Power clean after you power clean. There's a designated area in every Planet Fitness that is designed for a 30-minute workout. They even added a traffic light for convenience. You hop on one machine for 1 minute, you wipe that one down because you're a civil human being, and then you move on to the next one. Despite the large sign that you have to walk past that says 30-minute workout right on it in big, bold purple letters and the giant traffic light, I've almost never been able to complete this 30-minute workout without a wandering Jimmy waltzing in and plopping down on a random machine. Not Jimmy with a J, to clarify. I'm sure you're not this guy, Jim. I meant Jimmy. Jim. Not Jimmy. Jimmy. You feel me, Jimmy? Anyways, I once watched a man move the sign. He moved the sign on his way in. He picked it up and he set it to the side before jumping on the machine that was next in my circuit. Are people cognizant of their heinous actions? Do they read the sign and think they're impervious to the common law of man? Or does the side of their brain responsible for reading instructions just shut off once their heart rate reaches 150? Either way, having to steer around 6 people packed in that room, none of whom are participating in the 30-minute workout, is the absolute worst. The petty part of me wants to bring a foghorn and blast it anytime someone walks in and gets on a machine that isn't machine number 1. Machine number 1, the first machine in the 30-minute workout. So, it better be the only exercise that you're even thinking about if you're crossing that border and walking past that sign. What kills me is that the same machines that you're using in here are out on the gym floor, just for you. Every machine in the dedicated workout room is less than a 20-second walk away. Get that cardio in that you've been procrastinating and walk away. P.S. If you're someone who observes the 30-minute workout zone and either uses it for its intended purpose or avoids it, there is a special place in heaven for you. A host of angels will receive you, singing admiration of your noble life lived on earth. You're a saint, and if no one else vocalizes their appreciation for your rule following, let me be the first. The world needs more people like you. This next one I really hope hits home for somebody, and then I hope that they fix that home. I've heard of sleep apnea, but I've never thought awake apnea was a thing until I started going to the gym. You. Yeah, you. The guy that drops the free weights and grunts loudly. Making obnoxious noises does not make you more of a man. It just proves that you should probably find a CPAP dealership. Some of us forgot our headphones, you know. If we wanted to hear humpback whales surfacing for air, we would have stayed home and watched National Geographic. That woman over there isn't checking you out. She's CPR certified and wondering if she's going to have to resuscitate you. Just breathe like a normal human. I promise she'll think you're cool if you do your reps like the rest of us. And then, keep leaving her alone. This isn't a nightclub, and she's not here to meet you. If she wanted to meet someone like you, she would have gone to a Comic-Con and hooked up with Darth Vader. Breathe normally. And women. Yes, women. Sorry, I just finished bagging on men. And I'm all about equality, so I'm activating Mean Girl for a moment here. Stop trying to make skin-colored anything a thing, Gretchen. It's never going to happen. Men are not checking you out in that flesh-toned onesie. They're wondering how you looked in the mirror and signed off on those clothes. Or they forgot their glasses, and they are baffled as to why you showed up naked to the gym. How do clothes even get that color? Were they peach before you decided to throw them in the washer with your towels on hot water? Or does Ulta sell custom blended foundation leggings? And that's a wrap for things that I have to say to just women. Stay beautiful. And now I'm back to bashing both men and women. Welcome back, gentlemen. You'd really think that a gym would be a practically cell phone-less area. You're covered in sweat, vigorously training to become an elite assassin, How do you manage to do it with your cell phone in your hand? You can't. Look, you do you. I'm just saying the world won't implode on itself if you leave your phone in your car. It won't. Think of the gym as your rehab, your digital detox. You'll be so shocked when you do leave it in your car, and when you get back to it, it'll be right where you left it. Unless your car gets broken into. Okay. You can keep your phone on you. But if you do, keep the following types of people in mind, and please do not be one of them. Let me set a scene for you. You've just finished climbing the equivalent of 3 Empire State Buildings on the stair climber, and the line to the water fountain is 4 people deep. After such a triumphant conquest, surely you'd think you'd be hearing Beyoncé herself singing you a congratulatory song. But no. Beyoncé doesn't descend from the heavens to serenade you. You just hear this instead.
What the dog doing?
Lizard, 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 lizard.
The guy in front of you is flipping through brain-rotting reels. His algorithm is the 7th level of intellectual hell. I don't know him. Maybe he has a hearing problem. But full volume, man? Don't subject us to pretending like we can't hear the women you'll never touch advertising their OnlyFans accounts. This doesn't go for just the gym, either. This is anywhere. Anywhere another human shares a space with you, just assume that we don't want to hear what's on your phone. We don't. We don't want to hear your TikToks. We don't want to hear your boyfriend on speakerphone unless you're asking me for relationship advice. And we also don't want to hear you texting 110 words a minute. I have an affinity for bubble wrap, but this is just not the same as this. It just doesn't hit the same. Okay, I'll stop. Starting now. I always wonder if those special people who film their workouts think the sun revolves around them. Oh, you're an influencer. Well, you're doing a great job. I don't even know you, and you've influenced me to work out on the other side of the gym. I'm not judging, but when I'm standing in the background of your shot, I'm flattered you think I make a great background for your glute routine, ma'am. And I do. I'm stunning. But could you maybe aim your camera somewhere else? If I knew it was picture day, I would have stopped by the barber shop. Look, the fluorescent factory lighting of the gym makes you look pale anyways. Just move that tripod over to your living room. And if you hear this and you decide to keep recording in the gym, could you at least consider paying me a 10% royalty? And lastly, let's not sit on the machines like they're lounge chairs. Who knows? Somebody might want to use the machine you're using for your lip and jaw workout routine. This isn't happy hour, and those Gatorades aren't beers. Get your reps in and get moving, people. There are plenty of places to build a campfire and take turns thumbing butts, and this is not it. And shoo. Well, that's my spiel on the gym. I really hope that you're not one of the people I just roasted. Not because I roasted you. I'm not apologizing if I've roasted you. I sincerely hope that you're a person who wasn't raised on a pig farm, whose only life lessons were taught to them by a spider with a bewildering understanding of the English language and too much silken time on her hands. Take a look in the mirror and ask yourself, am I one of these people? And if you are, I hear Apples Anonymous is always scouting for new converts. If you made it this far, please let me know if there's any subspecies of gym monster that I've missed. Or drop me a gym-related horror story that you know I'd want to hear. Now that that's behind us, we're at the part of the show where I answer anonymously submitted questions from my audience. I apologize that I couldn't squeeze all of them into this episode. No, I don't. Some of you ask the most god-awful questions. But those of you who do ask great questions, or questions that were so terrible that I had to answer them, congratulations, you made it to the show. Why are you single? Why am I single? Why am I single? How is experiment 113,032,032,000 doing in the simulation? Well, sir, it appears he's 32 and single. Singularity. This many rotations around the sun and he's single. Did something go terribly wrong with this experiment? Why is he a singularity this late in life? Something awful must have happened. There must be something cosmically wrong with the space dust formula. Or maybe I haven't met my future wife yet. It's probably a cosmic anomaly, but there is an off chance that I'm patiently waiting for Mrs. Right. This was one of those worst questions that I just mentioned earlier, but after it passes a certain threshold of awful, it is too good of an opportunity to pass. So, thank you for submitting this insensitive question. If your girl was putting on weight, would you say something? Oh, my dear sweet listener. Yes. Yes, you should say something to her. Why wouldn't you? Wouldn't you want someone to tell you that you were getting fat? If you're having the trouble finding the right words, I can help you out, man. Here are 3 surefire ways to let your loved one know that they are gaining weight. Hey, babe, I noticed there's more of you to love lately. Your Christmas card from last year is still printing. There's something heavy on my heart. It's you, honey. Pick from any of the 3, and I'm sure that she'll be losing a lot of weight real quick. You. You're the weight. What can I do to get my ex to stop stalking me? Delete your socials. Change your phone number and move to another address. If she's still stalking you, move to a different state, dye your hair, change your name, and get a cool curly mustache. If she's still on your trail, I've set everything up for you. Erase all evidence of yourself. Wire me $100K and go to the nearest airport. Look for a short man in a tall hat holding a sign that reads, "Your new life starts here." You'll be flown to Taiwan for reconstructive facial surgery. Then, you'll be flown to Ireland, where you will gain employment at a local bar that has just opened up. Mr. Lamb, the bartender, has a spare room open for you where you may sleep. There, you will immerse yourself in the craft of crafting craft beer until the daughter or son of a local farmer bumps into you some months later. You'll instantly fall in love, marry, and have 5 little red-headed rascals running around your cottage in 10 years' time. And after all of this, if your ex still knows where you are, just drop down on one knee and propose to your ex. Because I guarantee you that there is not a soul on this planet who would go through that much trouble to find you. So if they did, well, then you're clearly meant to be, and you're just in denial. How can someone make me laugh? Anything involving a whoopee cushion, sustaining minor injuries to yourself, or a combination of both will always get me. Who knows me best? Charlotte, my mannequin, has seen me at my lowest lows and my highest highs, and she's still here. I don't know what I would be without my Charlotte. What do you think about dating someone who is not your ideal type? Well, given my type is a competent and human woman, I don't think I'll ever be dating outside of my type. I know, it's a very high bar to meet, but I'll stick to my standard. When was the first time you questioned if you were a good person? Today, just now, when I read that question. Would I go out with a girl that has boob implants? Are there people who would say no to that? Like, no ma'am, you have modified state-of-the-art hooters, I'll pass? Wow. I guess that just means more silicone for the rest of us. What is my ultimate comfort food? Dinosaur egg oatmeal. I don't know how they did it, but when you stir it, the tiny eggs inside somehow magically turn into tiny little dinosaurs. Eating those cute little guys doesn't get any easier, it really doesn't. But I'd like to believe that each of their prehistoric souls lives vicariously through me. Each of them is a part of me now. Do I like cats or dogs better? Do I want an animal that spirals into depression every time I walk out of the door? No. Do I want one that glares at me from on top of the refrigerator, waiting for me to fall asleep so that it can continue its escape plans? Also no. So the perfect answer to this question is that I prefer cats that act like dogs. This is the perfect medium. Because a dog that acts like a cat would be a horrifying force of nature. What do I think about two girls fighting? The same thing that I think about two guys fighting. It's pointless, but it's hilarious to watch. Grown people acting childish always makes me giggle. What is something that cannot exist in a love relationship? Another man. Am I right, fellas? What's your take when your girl is suddenly all about her looks? Just ride the wave, bro. Let her be all about her looks. Unless she's starting to map out a 5-year Botox and facelift plan, then maybe step in and tell her that she's beautiful, just the way she is. Books. Do you even read them? Sex. Do you even have it? I don't. I was just asking. As a matter of fact, I do read books. Do picture books count? Let's say you could make one thing bigger. What would you choose? If I could make one thing bigger, what would I choose? If I could make one thing bigger, it would have to be my pen. The thing keeps slipping out of my hands at the most inconvenient times, makes it very hard to write. If I said I believe in conspiracy theories, would you still go out with me? Well, how deep are you in the rabbit hole? Are you a the moon isn't real kind of gal? Or are you more of a birds are surveillance drones, why else would they all gather on the power lines they're clearly charging kind of woman? Because yes, to both. Yes, I would date you. Be careful around birds. They aren't real, and they're always watching. They're always listening, and they always know where you are. My boyfriend says liking someone else's posts is basically cheating. Do you agree? Does he constantly go through your phone asking you, "Who's this?" about all of your guy friends? Does he tell you, "You can't go out in that"? Does he somehow make everything you do about him? If yes to any of the above questions, he sounds like a really secure guy, and you have a keeper. Here's a hot take. Do whatever you want. It's your life, not his. Like those posts. Who cares? You don't. Why should he? Been considering a tattoo. What do you think? Should I do it? No. Tattoos are a gateway to nipple piercings. Don't do it. Why do women see competition in other women? Well, to say that all women are anything is a pretty bold statement, sir. Did you ask every woman on the planet about this? And if it was a woman who asked this question, you're already one of these women by asking this question. But for all of the women who are playing, you realize no one officiated this sport, right? Most of the time, your opponent has no idea they're playing either. They've been drafted into a 1v1, and no one knows what the winner gets. Validation that everything is about you? If you're a guy who is experiencing this, just show up to the games and make sure that she knows you're her #1 fan. Get one of those finger foam hand thingies. Otherwise, you might be signing yourself up to be the opponent for round 2. How do I deal with obstacles in my workout routine? You have obstacles in your gym? Where are you working out? Mine does not have those. Giant inflatable hammers and cannon shooting dodgeballs would make the experience so much more interesting. Please send me the details so I can register to be a member of your gym, because mine doesn't have any of those. I just walk from machine to machine. What do you think about kids getting everything that they want? Well, giving a kid everything that they want is a form of child abuse. Me? I didn't grow up with everything that I wanted. I got everything I needed. And even though I got some of what I wanted, when I made it to adulthood and moved out into the big wide world, it was still a cup of cold water to the face. So the sooner that you can get your kid to realize that the world isn't fair, the better off that they'll be as an adult. What do you think about getting friend-zoned? There is no friend zone. Only an end zone, baby. If you're not a touchdown, you're an incomplete pass with a flag on the play. I'd rather acknowledge the incomplete pass and kick it off to someone else from the 85 than attempt an 85-yard field goal, am I right? Thank you so much for staying tuned in and listening to my third episode and for contributing your questions. I always have such a great time seeing what y'all come up with. Don't get me wrong, y'all need help, but it does make for peak entertainment. If you want one of your questions answered, hop on over to tellonym.com/notresponsible-for-this-content. That's TELLONYM.com/notresponsible-for-this-content. For my fourth episode, we'll be doing a bit on the digital nightmare that is online dating apps, and then playing a fun game of Never Have I Ever, and lastly, diving into more of your questions. This has been the I Am Not Responsible for This Content show, and Tim is signing out. P.S. If you have not taken a moment to like and subscribe, it takes 2 seconds. Seriously, I don't know how you haven't done it yet. Stay tuned for the next one. I'll see you there.